Okay. Welcome everyone to a very, 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 very special Thursday frequency, because this is for there are a couple of things that we've never done before. Number one is that Chris and I managed to get into the same room, thanks to a bit of workshop work that brought me to the Lehigh office, and secondly, and that's the main thing I'm excited about, is that we have Amit and Tamanna from Tamanna, right? From the AEM meetup community here, and we've been talking a couple of times before. Dominik has been talking to you way more, so I will leave it at that. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Lars. Dominik, thanks for having a really great opportunity to participate in these events, and just wonderful to see everyone come together and learn from each other, because that's really the best way. So my name is Amit. I'm based in San Francisco, and for the last 10 years, I've been holding the meetup groups in 8 different markets, which is New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Seattle, Atlanta, Boston, DC, and LA. And it started with really labor of love, and the problem back in 2012 when I got started in AEM was very hard to find information on how to help clients. So the only way to come together was through meetups or events, but there really wasn't anything. So, so started the San Francisco community back in 2014, and since then we've been consistently running the meetup for over 10 years now, and produce over 100 events. And it still feels like we are just getting started. So it's really wonderful to meet with Adobe and talk about how we can partner together and really strengthen the developer community network between our both organizations. So I'll just pause over here and hand over to Lokesh and Surya, who can also introduce themselves, and Tamanna, and then we can dive in and get started into the presentation.
Sounds great.
Is Lokesh over there? I'll hand it over to Lokesh.
Yeah, sure, thank you. So sorry I'm not able to be on the video, but yeah, this is Lokesh here. Been working with Amit probably like 7-8 years now on various different engagements, right from events and meetups and all of those. I'm happy to take this chapter to the next level. That's why we are doing this 2024, 2025. Have a great plans to do that. Dedicate our things towards building the Adobe community. But myself, I've been working with Adobe platforms, I think more than a decade now, like 12 years now, as with AEM and all of that. Right now, I'm a multi-solution architect. I'm the VP for enterprise architecture and data, mainly dealing with a lot of CDP work with a company called Trieloff. I come from there as a work, but closely working with Amit for CXC community.
Okay, great.
So, Tamanna, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Yep. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having us here with the Adobe team. I would like to introduce myself as Chief Operating Officer at CX Community. I have over 8+ years of rich experience in areas like business development, client relations, recruitment, and marketing strategies. At CXC, I lead the operations part, client relations, and community engagement. And I also specialize at CXC in orchestrating online events and all the process that goes behind. And yes, Amit and I have been working together for past more than 3 years now. And to end, like I'm based in India, so I'm working in night shifts
Okay.
mostly to assist Amit in the day hours.
Right.
And we have Surya. Sure, if Surya is able to, I think audio issues.
Yeah, I think Lars, maybe. Yeah, I think you have to mute the room. I think maybe
Okay.
this is a little bit the issue that I realized.
Okay, I'll try. Oh wait, maybe
I'm muted
okay.
and this is muted.
You're looking for Surya or?
I don't think Surya is.
No.
Yeah, I don't see him join. Yeah.
But that's okay. I think we can get started, Dominik. I think.
Okay, let me share. Okay. So if you want to see it big screen, you have to click on the slide. Okay,
Can you see it?
you can go, Amit.
Just a minute. I'm not able to see your screen. There we go. All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wonderful. All right. So we can go to the next one, Dominik. I'm going to.
I don't see it.
Oh no.
One.
Oh, yeah, yes, okay.
Really?
So over here, I'm just going to kind of walk you through a brief history of
It's
some of the events we produce. It doesn't capture all of them for sure, but to highlight, our first event was at the Stanford University way back in January 2000, exactly a year.
Please mute.
if we can. Yeah. Then nice. I've muted him. You can continue, Amit.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. So our first event was exactly 10 years back at the Stanford School of Medicine. And since then, we have worked with all.
Are you still getting audio?
We lost Amit.
Mike?
I think he's speaking without muting himself. So.
Alright, that's better. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Dominik?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, we can hear you again.
Alrighty. So as you can see over here, we have produced events for over 10 years with many clients like Cisco and Intel have been our partners over here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you can change the next slide, Dominik, we can move into the next section. The other way.
Sorry, that was the wrong direction. Good.
Wonderful. And some active active members we can highlight, and how big is the community today. So on LinkedIn, we have more than 13,000 members, and the San Francisco community has 2 meetup groups. We have 4,800 members split between those groups. The Facebook group is the largest group on Facebook for AEM developers, and we have 4,000 members in our Facebook community. In DC, Boston, and the rest of the US, in total, we are managing more than 24,000 members and counting. Some of the active members frequent at a lot of these events. You may have seen some of these names as well. For example, Cisco and Intel have been with us from a very long time, and in the last few years, we've done events with Ernst & Young, with Amazon, and we continue to do meetups on a bi-monthly basis, like once every 2 months.
Yeah.
So if we can go to the next slide. So this is the LinkedIn group. Not a member, I would strongly recommend to join these communities. We have active posts from members from time to time sharing what have they worked on. We can go to the next one, Dominik. The largest group is based out of San Francisco Bay Area. We have 400 members in this community, and I would encourage, if you're not a member, like maybe join or share some of the work that we are doing with others so that locals can participate and contribute. You can go to the next slide, please. This is a snapshot of our Facebook community. We have 100 members around the globe, and as you can guess, majority of the members are going to be in US or India. And we go to the next slide. Now, we want to serve 12 regions in the next few years. Since we have meetup communities in these areas, we want to strengthen them. India is new. We just seeded in this year in Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi. But just getting ready to do some community development work in India. It's hard, it's difficult not to ignore India and your strategic plans in the next few years. So really want to do some with India in the next few years. But our home base is San Francisco. New York is another region which has been active and vibrant. Lots of developers are focused in these two regions. We have many developers, partners in those regions. If you go on the next slide. So the intention for the next few years to consistently organize events, some in partnership with Adobe, some with Adobe's partners, some with Adobe's customers. But we want to find a way to deliver events a year. As of now, we are doing 6 events. Earlier, we used to do before COVID, a meetup once a month was the standard modus operandi, but after COVID, online events have still not come back to where it was before COVID. But we would like to do in-person events, and the frequency that we are looking at is doing 2 events in person per year, per region. 9 regions to grow. The intention is to do 18 in-person events in these 9 regions, and this year, very actively working to produce a small conference in San Francisco for developers and engineers in the community. This is something that we have tried before, and I would say failed. We didn't do, but really something that burning desire that I think we really want to find a way learn from developers, have developers sharing knowledge with each other, keep them as technical and engineering heavy as possible, because we really don't have too many places where engineers and developers can come together and share knowledge. Go to the next slide, please.
Amit, is there already a save the date that you can put out?
For the next 2 years, internally, we are committed to organize 6 online meetups once every other month, and each month, like, we aim to explore like one topic. Like, for example, this month in on March 7th, exactly a week from today, we pushed our Feb meet by a week, but we are going to talk about accelerators and connectors in the community. In April every year, right after the summit, we want to talk about what happened at the Adobe. What can we learn from each other as developers? In June last year, we did an event on GPT, and every year we want to, the month of June, to explore events around AI. In August, we want to talk about a data platform. In October, we will be talking about operations and maintenance. And this year, in November, we are November 6 and 7. We're going to be organizing a small conference for 400 people. And in December, have our work on the Goa conference. So, can we go to the next slide? Actually, this one, you can go to the next one. There's a little, so this is more on how we are planning. This is something that our mentors over the last 10 years have also helped us work together. So right now where we are at basic stage, like, but the intention is to climb the ladder and go all the way up to the collaborative stage. Go to the next slide, Dominik. This is also a lot of information on how, like, we want to build, how do we see the complete framework evolve. And this slide is also from one of our mentors who had helped us in the last few years. We can go to the next. I'm not going to go into too many details in this, but Dominic, I've shared this with you. I think it will be nice to just go over how we are planning to uncover some of the, so how can we collaborate, right? I think really the intention is how can we work together as a team and strengthen the developer community network. So this kind of summarizes what we spoke. 6 meetups a year is we are planning to produce for the. The intention is we want to strengthen 12 regions, as you can see over here, US and in the major anchor countries. And our first conference, we will be in the month of November. It's November 7. So love to have you. First from Adobe, how can we partner, event a success. And if you go to the next slide, Dominic.
I mean, Dominik already mentioned here that we want to be part of the June event. I think we already talked about this, and yes, we are working on it to have also something then ready for November because we think that would be a great conference.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hosting you, Lars, in June. And these are just some design comps, just not real public data, so please don't count me. But these are design comps of the conference that we are planning to organize. It's going to be at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, not too far from Adobe's headquarters. And if you go to the next slide, which is the last slide in the deck, very soon we will be publishing, we are working on the website, but we will be publishing the website in about right before the summit, and at the summit, just hand out some tickets to some in the community who have contributed, members who have attended years. Like, we wanted to invite and reserve early bird pricing for some active members in the community, but love to have Adobe and anything that we can do to help grow Adobe's voice in the community, whether it's edge delivery services or anything else. Just know that we are here to support you. We love Adobe, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to collaborate and build a stronger developer ecosystem.
Excellent.
Super. Thank you, Amit.
Amit,
So I'll just pause over here to see if there's any questions or comments. I know it's maybe a lot, and I don't know if this was up to the expectations or not sure what was expected, but really the call over here is to see how we can all collaborate and build a stronger developer ecosystem.
Yeah. So, can you hear me, Amit?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Good.
So any comments, any questions, any thoughts on?
Yeah. So, thank you for the.
Mute, Lars.
No, I'm not. Dominik.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Lars.
Okay.
Amit, can you hear me?
Ooh, I cannot hear Lars.
Yeah.
Maybe you muted Lars on your side, so I can hear Lars and Dominik. And you, Amit. So everyone.
Good.
I cannot hear Lars. That's strange.
Interesting. Yeah. And I promise I'm not just moving my
Can you hear
lips.
Lars, Dominik?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
And I can vouch you have it. Lars is not taking crazy pills.
Amit, can you hear?
You can hear me, Tamanna? Okay.
Can you hear Chris?
No, dude. Maybe I'll just.
Actually, I could unmute. You could mute, and I can unmute.
Let's try that.
So maybe
You'll have to.
rejoin Amit. Maybe
Just think.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to change the mic.
We're trying something different. So.
maybe if he's coming in, then maybe it's
Okay.
working.
Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We
Okay.
were able to hear you also before, but
Yes. Lars,
Yeah.
say something.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're muted.
No, we cannot hear you, Lars. You're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And Amit, you can hear me too?
I can hear you now. It's like sounds like the Verizon ad. You can hear me now.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I didn't expect that this would be another novelty today. Thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions. So the first one is the November 7 and 8 date. Is that something that I and everyone else who's here right now and watching the recording later should put in their calendar? So is that an unofficial official save the date? Okay, it is. So November 7th to 8th, San Jose Computer History Museum. The best AEM conference on this side of the planet.
U.S. elections did occur on November 5th. So
Right.
we could going to be the first conference right after the elections.
Right. So it's I can confirm U.S. elections, whenever Trump is on the ballot, are always a highly entertaining affair, especially if you're not an American and if you don't, you don't have to vote. So my question number 2 is looking at this. As somebody who likes to attend these kind of meetups, why should I go to your AEM meetups? What can I expect?
Expect good knowledge. pure knowledge from clients, from practitioners, from anyone who has so much knowledge and they are not able to share. And when they share this knowledge, like it's really like helps all of us. Like for example, we did an event in Intel long back, and the subject was end of content lifecycle management. It's it's such an afterthought. No, not too many people think about what am I going to do with my content from a compliance perspective,
Right.
where content has a shelf life, and that shelf life, when it ends and it expires, how does the end of content lifecycle management is Intel doing?
Right.
How is Intel for their compliance? Right? It's an amazing opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
So really, that's what really we want to
Okay.
know how others are like how others are integrating all these products.
Okay, perfect. And what kind of people can I expect to meet there?
Mainly technical community, like engineers, but you'll see a lot of like VPs as well. You'll find makers try to be like new client decision makers, like someone who's new outside of Adobe. I'll give you a small example. About 10 years back, or maybe 8, 9 years back, we did an event, a small meetup in New York. There were 15, 20 showed up, and Gardner was in that group. And I forget the name of the person, but he was in VP of marketing at Gardner.
Okay.
We just go around the table asking, why are you here? What are you trying to do? And she's like, oh, I'm over here trying to make a purchase decision if AEM is the right choice for us.
Right.
And speaker in that event was just incredible, like wonderful event. And this was, I think, a 6 months old year, a year later, Gartner bought AEM. So whatever year Gartner bought AEM, 6 to 12 months back, we had an event.
Yeah.
Where, so I think it kind of plants in the right direction to anyone trying to figure out how to use Adobe. But majority of them are Adobe customers, Adobe fans, Adobe product owners, I would say.
Okay. Got it. And in terms of format, how does a typical meetup evening go? So, what time does it start? Are there drinks? And well, yeah. Please tell me about it.
So let me break the bad news. That's sorry, but there are no drinks except non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me.
But we used to meet in the evening in person,
Right.
On a day or a Thursday evening. Before COVID, we used to meet in person. But now it's online. We don't meet in person, so there's no drinks, not even. But in the next few years, like especially I'm based in San Francisco, so I'm going to get back to the in-person, like at least twice a year. If we can do in-person meetups, that would be wonderful. And this San Francisco conference will bring the community together, and it can be one of those events that brings in-person events back to where we would want it to be.
Yeah. So for your go ahead, Ina.
May I jump in between because I need to leave here in a few minutes. So sounds great that you also do virtual ones. So everyone who's not located in US or in India, in Europe we also have something like that, but it's maybe a bit smaller than you have. But so everyone who's in Germany, Austria, or Switzerland also has a chance to go to one of the meetups. So we are also organized on meetup.com. And meetups are really, really great. So I really love joining those meetups because it's like meeting friends from old times again.
Yep.
So it's really a great initiative people are organizing meetups, and you see all the guys again, and it's not only your colleagues who you see. It's like going to a conference or something. You always meet people which you knew from the past, and so everyone who never joined a meetup should definitely give it a try. So it's really,
Yep.
they are great.
Definitely, I agree. Because what happens at the conferences is just once a year, and at the Adobe go to meet other people. So learning has to happen all year round, right? Learning cannot happen just at the conference. At the conference, you meet people, but then learning happens all year. So meeting like is, I think, it's important for us to connect more often.
Yep.
And it's great that this happens. So I think here in Germany it happens since 2017 or something like that. And it's great that after COVID we start doing it on site again. So it's really, it's great that we have the chance to meet again and to meet on those meetups.
Dominik, we should get all of these upcoming meetups on our community calendar, so that
Yes.
no matter where you are and no matter who's organizing it, right? And the thing that I really like about these community organized events, right, is that it's community organized, right? Because for all Adobe events are fantastic, and I can assert to that because I'm an Adobe employee, and we would never do anything that isn't fantastic. But we also obviously have an agenda for everything, right? And for these community organized ones, it's the community that is setting the agenda, right? So we are happy to support this, but it's really great to see the community doing this and prioritizing the things that they care about, right? And these are not always the things that we care about most, because right, we have our release schedule, we have our plans, and hearing the community and meeting it in person is extremely valuable, and which is one of the reasons why we are talking every week, and some of us only every other week. So
that's one, Lars, and that really kind of leads to the conversation where like we have shared our vision, our what we think we would like to do as a community, but we would really just love to know from you, like as Adobe, like what is Adobe planning? Like how can we help accelerate with, and or like I would love to know a little bit more, like where your mind is, like where would you like to take something like this, like our partnership. What would our partnership and the success of our partnership would look like to you in the future?
yeah, so let me be transparent about this. My goal here, right, is to bring as much of the community together, and to water whatever plants I see sprouting in the garden, right? So and the more that happens, the better it is, and whatever resources we can provide in terms of knowledge, in terms of visibility, in terms of just links, are things that we will do gladly, right? And then on top of that, there's obviously the existing Adobe managed community, and that's one thing that I see as one among many, right? And that's the way how I would like to take this, and that's the way how I would like to grow this overall community.
Right. That's wonderful. And we have a leader in this case. Earlier, Dominik, we were talking about SAP has an organization called ASUG. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Lars, but
Yeah.
you can check asug.com. And I think what we do as both like leaders of two organizations, like what we can do is like study how they operate, and then can we create a ecosystem, like what lessons the city, our big brother, and apply them to this, because they have 20 years of lead into what we are doing. Like, so there's a lot of lessons. Will be nice to, I think, understand how those two organizations work. Because ASAG is an organization in itself, based out of Chicago.
Right.
So we can learn both organizations operate independently, but at the same time collaborate very closely.
Yeah. So before we go into the weeds of that, I want to make sure that there are there other questions from the community, and I can't, because of the way I've set it up, I can't see the people who don't have their camera on. So Chris may be able to see if there have been things. Oh, there's Ina's link. That's perfect. Dominik shared the aem-live/community link. So are there additional questions?
Look very quiet today.
Well, that.
And I can maybe also add to what you said, Lars. Yeah, we are also reaching out internally to strengthen all kind of community forces to push things forward, because we have the AEM user groups, we have Experience League and all the other communities. I think that's really something that is our goal to bring them all in one discussion around the world, in meetups, in events, in summits, in conferences. I think that would be super, and that's why we will reach out even more also to community members to ask for help. And I think it's growing. We are super happy how it's growing, but we will push and push.
Okay. Well, I see people are already starting to drop, so I think then it's a good time for me to stop the recording. But I won't do that before I thank Amit and everyone for dialing in, for sharing their community path. I hope to see many of you in these in-person events in the future, and even more of you in the upcoming Thursday and Tuesday frequencies that we are having here on Discord. Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.